Hello, my lovely geographers. Welcome to the bonus lesson on this. We're going to still be looking at what are volcanoes, but have a little bit of bonus, messy, fun lesson, which is more a little bit of science. And hopefully you'll recognize some of this science from what we did back in term one. So we're going to try and recreate a volcanic eruption. We've got two experiments to do. Experiment number one, we're going to need some things that you should be able to find at home. Washing up liquid, vinegar, plastic cup. You might find some bicarbonate of soda somewhere at the back of your cupboards, especially if there's a baker in your family. And not necessary, but some red food colouring for effect. So here we go, experiment number one. Hello, Year 6. Right, this is our first experiment of making our own volcano. So I have got some ingredients here. In this cup, which is plastic, I've got some water, and I've also got, this is bicarbonate of soda. So you should maybe will have this in your cupboard if your mum does baking. If not, you can buy it from the supermarket. I'm going to put about 3 teaspoons of bicarbonate soda into this water. Oh, my spoon's a bit too big. It's all right. And I'm going to ask my lovely assistant here to mix it up for me. So mix it up really carefully. Okay, wait for it to dissolve. I might just put a bit more in. I think the more of this stuff, the higher the volcanic eruption will be. Oh, hang on, while you're stirring, I'm just going to get the food dye.
This on the line.
Okay, I'm back. I've got the food dye. It's just in my cupboard. So, is that mixed in? Is that dissolved, Charlotte? I think it's pretty good. Let's have a look. All right. Oh, need a bit of a splash. So let's put that on the ground. So we're going to add a few drops now of red food dye. Red food colouring. Again, you don't need this. This is just for the effect to make it look like lava. And the next thing I'm going to add is a really good squash of fairy liquid. Okay, so just put a little bit more in. All right, so all of those are mixed together. Oh, that looks a bit interesting. And this is going to be the mouth of my volcano here, the vent. It is just an old milk carton. You could be fancy and decorate it, but there's no need to. So what I'm going to do now, the last thing, Charlotte, you might need to stand back because you've got white socks on. I'm going to add some vinegar in here, and then we're going to see what happens. So into this goes plain vinegar. Okay. Oh, look. What can you see happening out of my volcano? Oh, it's not coming out the top, but it definitely is erupting. Let's have a look. Oh my goodness. Oh, it smells. So in here, there's a volcanic eruption happening. Look at that. And the lava's flowing all the way down the side. And once that cools down, it's going to turn into rock. But it won't really, because this is just an experiment. So there we go. Let's shake it up a little bit and see what happens. I think we're just about done. Okay, so that's experiment number one that you can have a go at home. Make sure you do it outside, and make sure you've got your parent helping you. So there we go. Good luck. Bye. So, if you enjoyed that, let's have a listen to what the experts say about that experiment.
So, hi Year 6, you've probably seen Miss Hill making the volcano out of bicarbonate of soda and vinegar, and this is the science behind it. So the science that happens is actually a chemical reaction. So it is a chemical change that happens, and you might remember that way back in term 1 we were learning about chemical and physical changes. So the science behind it is the vinegar reacts with the bicarbonate of soda. Now you've heard that it says carbonate in bicarbonate of soda. That means that there is carbon dioxide mixed up in a different form to make a solid. Carbonate has carbon dioxide inside it. So what happens is when the vinegar reacts with the bicarbonate of soda, carbon dioxide is released and it creates lots of bubbles, which is what you see exploding out of the top of the cup as the volcano. Because she added washing up liquid and some water, it meant there was more liquid in order for it to be able to fizz up a bit better, and that washing up liquid and the food dye gave it the colour and the bubbles to make it a bit more frothy, just like real lava. But essentially what's happening is the carbon dioxide reacts with the vinegar, which is known as acetic acid, and that actually makes a new compound, and the liquid that is left behind is now a different kind of liquid, and the carbon dioxide is released from the bicarbonate of soda, creating all the bubbles that flow out and make it explode. That's the science behind how to make your own volcano. Bye.
Thank you, Mrs. Cox. So, if you enjoyed that, I know you're definitely going to enjoy experiment number 2, where all we are going to need is a bottle of fizzy pop and some Mentos. Okay, so we're here for our second volcano experiment today. This time I am using Diet Coke and I'm also using some Mentos. I've got my shy assistant here who may help me with this time. So all I'm going to do, I've got the same volcano. Let's just give this a little bit of a shake. You might have seen one of these on YouTube at some point, and I'm hoping that it doesn't go horribly wrong, but it could get a little bit messy, this one. So in here I've got my fizzy pop, my Diet Coke, and that's all I'm going to do with my volcano. And my lovely assistant is going to hand me 2 Mentos, please. No, he's too shy. Okay, are you ready for this one? What do you think is going to happen? Okay, let's see if it does. Ready, stand back. Ah, oh, it's actually coming out the top of this one. Let's see what's happening. Whoa.
Let's add 3 more.
Look at that one.
Let's add lots and explode.
I think it's just about done. Okay, so hopefully now Mrs. Cox is going to explain to you what was happening in both of our experiments today. So I'll hand over to Mrs. Cox. Bye-bye. Have fun. Don't make too much mess, Year 6.
So Year 6, in the second experiment that Miss Hill just did with the Diet Coke and the Mentos, this is the science behind it. So you can have any Diet Coke whatsoever, any diet drink at all in fact, as long as it's a diet fizzy pop, there will be aspartame, which is the sweetener that is used instead of sugar in the diet drinks. Iron Brew works really great for volcanoes because it's already orange and it looks just like lava when it pops out of the top. But any diet fizzy pop will do. You also need Mentos. For some reason, Mentos is the only thing that seems to work. The coating on the Mentos reacts with the aspartame inside the diet drink. But this time, instead of it being a chemical reaction, it's a physical change. So you may remember in term 1, when we were talking about chemical reactions and physical reactions, this time it's a physical reaction, not like the bicarb of soda, which was a chemical reaction. What happens is the aspartame and the coating on the Mentos react together to create a force that pushes out the carbon dioxide bubbles that are existing in the fizzy drink. They get pushed out with such a force that they fly out of the top, all rushing to the top, the opening together so that the gas can escape, the carbon dioxide comes out, and because it's such a rush, it brings a lot of the fluid with it so that all of the Diet Coke or the fizzy pop comes out over the floor, just like lava exploding from a volcano. So that is the science behind it.
So there we go. 2 amazing experiments and 2 fantastic scientific explanations of what was going on. So do have a go at that at home. Make sure you have parents' permission and it was somewhere outside to do it, preferably on a lovely day. It'd be great to see some photographs or even some videos uploaded to our website. But finally, I did just want to show you what I was talking about before on YouTube, where the experiment went horribly wrong. So if you could stop your video now and have a look at this, I think you'll have a laugh. See you later.